What's going on, guys? Brian here representing Neo Overlay Network, bringing you guys another deck profile. Today I'm going to be showing off ninjas, a really old archetype, but very budget and a lot of different rarities to get them in. I would say this is like a local slash little friend tournament. You could test this out, see how you do. There are other engines I've thought about throwing in there, like the Trap Tricks engine, the Numeron one, and then the Eldritch one. That's like the best one in my opinion, the Eldritch one, because it just goes well with the deck because they like to run traps anyways. So yeah, and Eldritch is just a good card. He just lets you set the tempo, and pretty powerful boss monster. And glad he got a reprint. So, but for this variant, it's just a ninja with the Samori lock, and you're running the Perform Foul High Five Rainbow Magician, and it's that type of variant. And it's a going first variant. So without further ado, let's get on into it. We're gonna start off with the main deck monsters, obviously. So starting off with the ninjas, let's begin with Hanzo. Hanzo is an old card. He's been around for a minute. He is not a hard once per turn, so if you're able to get him off, summon them more than once, then you're going to be having a good time and you're going to be getting some advantage. So you're going to start with Hanzo. He lets you add a resource from deck to hand, and if he is normal summoned, he lets you add a ninjutsu art card, and if he is special summon or flip summon, he lets you add a ninja monster. And like I said, not a hard once per turn, pretty much your starter, and we have a lot of level 4s, so we can go into some rank 4 plays if need be. Then next up we have Upstart Golden Ninja. He lets you send one trap from your hand to the graveyard to special summon one level 4 lower ninja monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position. You're mostly going to be doing it face up to get off the effects of your ninjas, and he just helps in getting your, I guess, bricky hands or awkward hands not so bricky and unclogging them by letting you special summon any ninja you feel you need at the moment. So very helpful, and he is also not a hard once per turn. Very necessary. He is a level 4 and he is light, so there is that. And then we run 3 Yellow Ninja. He is wind, and he is your biggest guy right here at 1900 attack and 1800 defense, which is nothing to laugh at. And then when he's normal summon or flip face up, he lets you special summon another ninja monster in attack mode or face down defense position. But we don't really flip him up face up for the most part. That's if you want to run some of the really old ninjas, the ones with the flip effects, but I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're going for a gimmick deck. And then yeah, pretty good if you ask me. But the downer about him, he locks you into ninja monsters. So once you do use his effect, you're going to be locked into ninjas, and ninjas don't really have a lot of extra deck monsters to begin with. So yeah, be aware of that when you do use his effect, because you're locked into that. Bummer, but he's still pretty good in my opinion. Next up we run 3 Twilight Ninja Jogan. He's a scale 1 pendulum level 7, that's all good, but we really just use him because he's a free special summon by revealing one Ninjutsu art card in your hand, and then he does piercing damage too when he attacks a defense position monster. But his scale effect does come up here and there by letting your ninjas do some piercing damage, so pretty interesting, and it can come up, but not really too much. He's just free body really. I mean, that's the reason we run him, and he's nice like that, so I like him. Next we run 2 Twilight Ninja Shingenzo. Well, when he just is on the field, your opponent cannot target ninja monsters you control for attacks, or your opponent cannot target face-up ninja monsters you control for card effects. So he can't target face-up ninja monsters for attack or face-up ninja with card effects except for him. And then when he is destroyed by either one of those, he lets you add a ninja monster from your deck to your hand except himself. So we do run him at 2. He doesn't come up too much at 3 he can get cloggy, and then he's one of the Arc V ones that one of the protagonists brought out, so that's pretty cool. But he's there just because he lets you search out whatever you need, and he is dark too, so not too bad. And then for the last of the ninjas, the level 4 ninjas, excuse me, we run 1 Masked Ninja Ibisu, whose once per turn effect lets you return any number of spell and trap cards your opponent controls equal to the number of ninja monsters. So if you're able to swarm the field with like 3 or 4 ninja monsters, you're able to bounce back some back row, and then therefore letting it stall out for another turn and helping you continue on with your plays. Doesn't come up too often, but when it does, man, is it good. But he's also a target for, it's called Ninjutsu Art of Transformation and Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation, letting you bring out your wing beasts and your dragon monsters that you're running here. So nothing too crazy with him. You can run his other partner, Go-Go Gallant Ninja, but not too great for this deck. And then we're going to get into the last pendulum card of this deck. Is Perform Foul High Five Rainbow Magician. Interesting pendulum card if you do ask me. The main reason I say that is because his scale effect is very, very powerful. So each player applies one of these effects based on the number of set cards in their spell and trap cards on. All monsters, if it's 0, all monsters they control cannot attack or activate their effects. So you got a Mystic Mind effect going on with just this guy right here in your scale zone. If your opponent's not playing any back row and they're not setting anything, So you have ways of preventing them from setting things, which I'll get into shortly. But not only that, since you run a lot of traps, you're able to take advantage of its second effect. If you have 4 or more cards set face down that tackle all monsters you control, they control whoever it is, your opponent or them, so be aware that this is a double-edged sword. All monsters they control, their attacks become double their original attacks. So very powerful card, and then helps you push for game if need be with just your main deck monsters. I know the Buster Lock was a thing, and I was running this deck with a little bit of a trap tricks engine, and it was just conflicting normal summons more than anything, but it did help me steal some games because people would be locking out with the Buster Lock, but it didn't really matter too much because, you know, you don't really need the extra deck because, you know, you're just able to swarm and then take control of things as we go along. And then his monster effect, sorry I rambled on, his monster effect is if either player sets a spell or track card on the field while this card's in your graveyard, except during damage that you can special summon, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. So he's going to be coming back unless the DD Crow him, and yeah, so very powerful card, and it's pretty good for this type of variant of the deck. I'm not going to lie, when you have win cons like these, I guess a win con, which is pretty much the Samorg lock. Let's get into Samorg. The thing you're going to want to do with this card is bring it out with the Ninjutsu Art of Transformation, and then if you guys don't know what Samorg does, while this card is face up on the field, your opponent cannot send any cards on the field. So you have this, along with the Hi-Fi Rainbow, your opponent's not going to be able to attack any monster effects or set cards. So the only thing that's going to be able to out it is like a Cyclone, Evenly, things like that, things of that nature. And then you're going to have some good matchups across the board anyways, because of what you can't set cards or activate monster effects. That's an uphill battle for any deck. So, or Imperm 2 can stop this, or a Chalice. So there is that. So we do run him because we do run Dark Samorg because we can bring him out with Super Art of Transformation, or we can just banish a light or a wind or a dark monster from our graveyard or from our hand to special summon him. So there are ways to get him out because, like I said, Wind Ninja, Yellow Ninja is wind, and then Hanzo is dark. What else? I think Twilight Jogan is dark, so there are ways to get him out in the field. Twilight Jogan dark? Now I got me guessing myself. Yeah, he is dark. And then Shingenzo. So we have ways to get him out back on the field if he does get rid of. And then another win condition in this deck is a Morphage Goliath. Like once for this one, you're going to be using Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation to bring him out by using one ninja monster you control, and then one opponent's monsters they control. And it's another win con in this deck, locking them out of the extra deck, and it's a very powerful card. I know Dragon League's going to be running them. And then we also run one White Dragon Ninja. He cannot be special summoned except with a Ninjutsu Arts card, and spell and trap cards you control cannot be destroyed by card effects while he's on the field. So he's just a big beater, level 7, that you're able to bring out with the Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation. We do run, I think, like 3 Garnets in here. Yeah, we run 3 Garnets or whatever they're called. So you want to be able to get them out with the Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation, but at the same time you can also get rid of them to unclog your hand, whatever it may be, if you can run a Twin Twister in the side deck or whatever you feel you need. So very powerful card. I choose to run this over Judgment just because I want to have a win con in mind, and I'd rather see it than not see it, so I'm all in. Then again, then another win condition we have, I guess not win condition, a little floodgate we have, is Bury Statue of the Stormwinds. So glad it's got a reprint. Oh my god, it was getting expensive for a common. But you're able to bring this out once again with Ninjutsu Art of Transformation by just tributing ninja monster control special summon it, and then, like it says right here, neither player can special summon monsters except win monsters. So yeah, I guess Virtual World is the only one that can play through it, but hey, it is what it is. Then we run one Dino Wrestler Pankratrops. I know I said this is a going first build, but since we do run Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation, it lets you bring out a Serpent, Dragon, or Dinosaur monster, and then Pankratrops just so happens to fill that role of a Dinosaur monster, and he is a godly one of. So if you are forced to go second and you do get to bring out Cinnamon Hand, you at least have something to work with. So I do choose to run him along with the White Dragon Ninja, the Goliath, and the Dark Samorg. So there is that, and he is level 7, so you can go for some rank 7 plays, but I don't really go for it. That's it for the monsters. Now I'm going to touch base with the Ninjutsu Art Notebook. I know this card can get cloggy at 3, but it is necessary to see it because it lets you pretty much send any bricks in your hand, like, I don't know, Shingetsu, if you're already using them on some Yellow Dragon Ninja, Pritchum, to set a Ninjutsu Art card from your deck to your hand, any one of your Ninjutsu Arts cards, even the field spell. So very powerful card. It is necessary to run it at 3. You can always just set it as bait for your opponent to pop, but you have to see it at 3 because this helps you just get into your resources a little bit faster. And on top of that, it unclogs your hand and lets you make bricks into actual usable resources. And the fact that you can set it is very, very good too. So not adding it, setting it. So we run 3 of those because you want to be able to maximize the consistency on seeing the cards you want to need, like this card right here, Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy. So Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy lets you destroy as many other Ninjutsu Art cards you control to draw 2 cards. So you have to destroy as many as you control as possible. So if you have a full board of them, and you activate this, you're gonna lose everything. So it is a good card, but it also is a card you have to know how to manage and know when to use. But usually I like to, if I have this, I like to send a ninja. If I have this along with Ninjutsu Art Notebook, I like to send a ninja because of this, thanks to him, to set this, activate it, and then draw 2 cards and get rid of, go deeper into the deck. So you could run it at 3, but 3 gets cloggy, and I'd rather see it at 2 because it is easily searchable thanks to multiple ways, thanks to a lot of ways, and thanks to the ninjas. Then for the field spell, we run Hidden Village of Ninjutsu Arts. So when a ninja monster is summoned, doesn't matter. You can target 1 ninja monster or ninjutsu art card in your graveyard, add it to your hand, but you can't activate cards or effect with that name for the rest of the turn. So yeah, there is some restrictions, but hey, you get to add some resources back. And on top of that, if a ninja monster or ninjutsu art card will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can just banish a card from you can just banish 1 ninja monster from your graveyard instead. So therefore protecting your lock and helping protect your win conditions even more. So it is ninjutsu art, so you are able to search it or set it. Very powerful, very good. And then next up we run 2 Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation. Very good card. You can activate this card by targeting 1 ninja monster you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Send this to your graveyard. Special summon 1 dragon, dinosaur, or sea serpent. So it sucks that it's the deck, so that's why I run it at 2, because sometimes you do draw into your white dragon or your dark Samoan or your Goliath, and this makes this dead in hand. But thanks to running at 2, it's not dead in hand anymore. They're not dead in hand anymore, and we have some other targets now too. So it's a good card. I like it. Helps you set up the log, and it's very powerful. Then 2 Ninjutsu Art of Transformation. Same thing as Super Transformation, but you activate this card by tributing just a ninja monster, and to special summon 1 beast, winged beast, or insect monster whose level is less than or equal to on the field +3. So less than or equal to. So you're gonna bringing out your Samorg, you're bringing out your barrier statue. And that's pretty much it. Those are your 2 targets, hence why you run it at 2. 2 awesome little floodgates that can get the job done. Next up, 1 Armor Ninjutsu Art of Rust Mist, excuse me. This is not hard once per turn, by the way. When you activate this, when a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, and if you control a ninja monster, the current attack, half the current attack of that special summon monster. So non-targeting, halving its attack. Very powerful card, and just very annoying to deal with, and then very recurable too. And then Ninjutsu Art of Shadow Ceiling, excuse me. This pretty much forms a lock in your opponent's extra monster zone, or any monster zone for that matter, by tributing 1 ninja monster you control to target 1 monster your opponent controls, banish that target, and then when this card leaves the field, return that monster to that monster zone that was banished. So if you're able to lock them out when they go into a Crystron or into a Hauki, you're going to be able to stop them you're going to be able to lock them out from the extra deck, and this is still a very powerful card in this format. For the 1-0s, we run 1 Double Nothing, 1 Foolish, 1 Rhoda, and then we run 3 Forbidden Apocrypha. Now, this card right here is a very interesting card. I think it's going to be seeing more play as the format progresses and as the meta shifts. This lets you declare 1 extra deck monster type, Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz. If 2 are monsters on the same field, make each player send all monsters from the type or field to the graveyard. So we don't really... It's gonna hurt us only because we do run a lot of Xyz, but even then we don't really need to go into them unless we have game. And on top of this is non-targeted removal for as many of the chosen monster types you announced, helping you clear boards. And on top of that, you can set it too, which is very, very powerful. But a little bit slow, but if you are able to get it off, it's gonna help you pretty much win the game. And that's it for the main deck, guys. We're gonna go into the extra deck. Starting off with the ninjas, we're gonna go into Saizo. Saizo is your Link 2 boss monster solar printing, so make sure you guys get him if you guys want to build this deck, because he might go up in price, but he is cheap right now. All he requires is 2 ninja monsters. During the main phase, you can set a ninjutsu art spell and trap directly from your deck. And then while this card points to a monster, your opponent cannot target for attacks. Also, you cannot target for card effects. So very powerful card, just letting you once again deck trim and set whatever you need. And in itself, very good little Link 2 that ninjas deserve and need. I like him, he's good, and he's at 3 in my opinion, because there is a chance one of them gets Veilered or stopped or imperm, whatever, gamma, whatever it may be. And then next up for the ninjas, extra deck monsters, we run Blade Armor Ninja. All he needs is 2 level 4 warrior monsters. He's pretty much your Cyber Twin Dragon. By detaching material, he can you target 1 ninja monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase, so you're mostly going to be targeting him, unless you have somebody that's bigger. Then 1 Abyss Dweller, because generic. 1 Tornado. 1 Evil Swarm. 1 Dugaris, very generic. Then we run Utopia double package, Utopia double, Utopia, and of course Mr. Lightning, followed by Carnagon, Anti-Luminescent Knight. Carnagon, oh man, that's a mouthful, I hope I didn't butcher it. Anti-Luminescent Knight. He's 2 level 4 monsters, and then since Zodiac is a thing, you can protect your monsters from being targeted by him, because he lets you, during either player's turn, when another card effect is activated, target exactly 1 monster to the field, you can quick effect detach exceeds material from this card to target 1 card on the field that would be the appropriate target and make it that target. So if they want to go with the Dryden pop, you can have this guy out, be like quick effect, response, chain, detach material to make the new target something that is not yours. So very powerful card, probably going to be seeing a little bit more play because of Zodiac being one of those decks that's like tier 1 or tier whatever. So I'd suggest getting it. Then 1 Borderlo Dragon, 1 Borderlo Sword, and 1 Appaloosa. Very generic links. We can only run generic links and only generic Cs because ninjas don't have a lot of support, which is why I recommend throwing in some other engines in there. But it's still a very fun, cheap budget deck which has its win cons, and it can take some people by surprise. So if you are looking for a little rank 4 warrior deck that can do some cool stuff and have some win cons in itself, then I would suggest looking into this. This is mostly like a local level type of deck. I wouldn't really recommend taking this to like regionals or anything, but you can take it to locals with some friends and see how you do. Very cheap, very budget, lots of different rarities. But yeah guys, that's right about it. I'll come at you guys with some combos for this deck, and on top of that some going second deck builds for it and options. But without further ado guys, this is Brian with Neo Overlay Network signing out.